Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Geek-Stew. And today, guys, welcome back to another episode of Conspiracy Theories with Ike. That's right. So I'm holding this microphone just for this episode, so I apologize if this is not aesthetically pleasing or anything like that. And I do apologize for the mess behind me. We are actually cleaning out like our closets and stuff, so you get to see the mess. That's like a bunch of clothes that we're going to donate and whatnot. So I apologize for that. But back to what I was saying, I'm going to be holding the mic today just because I want to see how the, basically how it sounds compared to what I did last couple episodes. I'm not going to do this permanently, but I had it clipped here versus having it in front of me. So depending on how this sounds, if this is a better sound, I will probably start doing this moving forward and whatnot. But just so you know why I'm holding the microphone, it may look silly, but what can you do? Anyhow, welcome back to another episode of Conspiracy Theories. I want to wish you a very happy Friday. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you are doing well, great. If not, very sorry to hear that. Hope you get better soon. But today we're going to be talking about two new theories. These theories were, of course, suggested to us by a follower, or at least a viewer. I'm not sure if they follow me or not, but this guy right here, or this individual right here, I say guy a lot. I think I'm in that. It's not a gender neutral term, but I think I want to make it one, but it's not. Anyhow, this individual right here, thank you so much for suggesting these theories. Today we're going to be talking about Agartha and Ancient Giants. We'll talk about it a little bit here in a minute, but giants is kind of a broad stroke of a term, so we'll get to that a little bit later. But those are the theories we're going to be going over today. Both of these are from the Conspiracy Theory Iceberg, of course. The iceberg is right here. Thank you to Cicada1205 for the wonderful iceberg. So pretty much the same thing as always. The two theories we're going to be talking about today don't really relate to one another, or sometimes in some ways they do. But hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Let's go ahead and make it just a little bit better, and let's get into our theories today. So the first theory we're going to talk about is Agartha. So let's get into Agartha. I gotta first tell you a little bit about Hollow Earth. So if you didn't know, Hollow Earth is going to be the context, right? Yeah, right here. I'm just gonna go away. So context: Hollow Earth, basically the concept that the Earth is not a solid mass; it is a hollow structure with a whole different continent in the middle of the Earth. So this theory, this was suggested notably, okay, so there's been a lot of people who have talked about this. There's been a lot of mythos and a lot of stories that have talked or broached this subject, but specifically in terms of science, this was notably suggested by an English astronomer, mathematician, physicist, and a bunch of other Ishins, and what he did a lot of stuff. His name was Edmund Halley's, I think his name was. So basically, Hollow Earth has been disproven a lot. Just look. Just look. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that proves Hollow Earth wrong. I mean, supposedly Hollow Earth, there's supposed to be an entrance at the North and South Pole to get into Hollow Earth, and there's no entrance into Hollow Earth. We've done excavations into the Earth for, thousands of miles, and there's no such thing as Hollow Earth. The Earth is pretty clearly, most likely, has an Earth's core, which is like that hot magma, and then, all the different layers and plates and everything else. So, obviously, Hollow Earth is not real. But, specifically, Agartha. So this is the legendary kingdom at the Earth's core, right? So supposedly this is like the This is like I don't even know what to compare this to, but this is like the major kingdom of Hollow Earth, right? This is like hey, if you go to Hollow Earth, you got to visit Agartha, right? That's like what that's supposed to be. So, not a whole lot of information about Agartha or Hollow Earth for that matter. There's a lot of speculation, of course, because people in the early 1800s and even as far as the 1900s tried to kind of push this as like a pseudoscience, right? Kind of like chiropractic. I'm just kidding, kind of. But they try to push this as a pseudoscience, and so the most notable like account of Agartha and Middle Earth, that's a whole nother thing. Hollow Earth was from in 1910 when a detailed account, right? So detailed account was published. Now this was a posthumously after their death from a French occultist, Alexandre Saint Verres de Alvedre, or something like that. Okay, so this guy basically had a supposed first-hand account or detailed account of either himself or someone else. I can't exactly remember which one it was, having visited Hollow Earth and having seen Agartha. Obviously, I don't know whom he was talking to, even if he himself said he had been there. I highly doubt that. So, yeah, that's what Agartha is. Agartha is the legendary kingdom of Hollow Earth. So if you ever make it to Hollow Earth, Agartha is like the big apple, if you will, of Hollow Earth. So, conclusion, unfucking likely.
Unfucking likely.
Cool story. Somewhat related and often confused for Shambhala from Buddhism. Not the same, but I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to think that, hey, Hollow Earth could be a thing. Hollow Earth is a concept that's often used in literary elements. Lots of stories have been kind of balanced around this. I mean, I've seen multiple stories myself that have had to do with Hollow Earth or concepts relating to Hollow Earth. And they're good stories, but it's not true. I highly doubt it's true. If this was true, then I need to see some more hardcore evidence of this. But next, we're just gonna move on from Agartha and Hollow Earth. I talked a lot about it, gave you a lot of interesting stuff about it, but yeah, it's not fucking likely. All right, next theory. So, Ancient Giants. Insert Wendigoon reference here.
Giants.
So, long story short, Giants is another very broad concept. Okay, Hollow Earth is a broad concept. There's a lot of different theories that kind of work with Hollow Earth or work for Hollow Earth, right? There's a lot of stuff that needs Hollow Earth to exist in order for them to exist, like Agartha. So Giants is a very broad stroke concept because there's a lot of different giants in lore. If you've ever watched Wendigoon does a really great video about Nephilim and giants in general. Honestly, I probably will never ever be able to fully grasp or give the same amount of detail as Wendigoon does. So if you want something that's more of a larger scope on the concept of giants or Nephilim, I would recommend watching Wendigoon's videos about those. So for today, we're just going to talk about ancient giants. Maybe one day I'll talk about Nephilim, but for now, we're going to specifically talk about ancient giants, okay? So, how do I say this, right? So, giants appear in so many different forms of literature and cultures. They appear in essentially every religion on Earth, right? I mean, Abrahamic religions, Armenian religions. There are even giants referenced in there's a whole lot of really far-reaching outliers where giants have been they exist, quote unquote. And that's great, right? I love stories about giants. You have some things what was it? The stories of the guy who had the slingshot and I can't remember what the fuck that guy's name was. It's gonna bother me, but it's a biblical story, right? I mean, it's a great story, right? He somehow defeated the giant. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, cool, but I wanted to look at specifically fossil evidence that we can see of giants. Now, when I Googled this, I found a lot of different resources, but the most reliable resource I found gave me 3 examples of possible fossil records of ancient giants, and we're going to talk about specifically those. I had my script propped up over here so I could just glance at it, but I have to bring it closer because I had to write kind of small for some of these fossil records, you know? So the first one is the giants of Castelnau, I think is what it is. There's an image kind of this. So there are 3 bones or fragments of bones. So it was a humerus, a tibia, and a femoral midshaft. These were discovered in 1890 by Georges Vacher de la Puge. And it was estimated that the individual that these bones belonged to were 11 feet 6 inches tall. This was in some Bronze Age cemetery, and I believe this was in Europe. Which, as I've realized, 2 of these were located in somewhat European areas. So I don't know if that's something. So yeah, but there's pictures of those bones. These are wildly disputed. However, some people don't necessarily think that these are human bones, or it's possible that due to some unforeseen natural issue that these bones were compromised, whether it be the weather or some other external factor. But a lot of people dispute whether or not specifically these bones are or can be considered as strong evidence, as some people suggest they are. So take it with a grain of salt. Possible, okay, this is the next one. Possible press accounts from 1894 of bones of human giants unearthed in a prehistoric cemetery in Montpellier, France, estimated at 10 to 15 feet. There's no fucking proof of this. There's no when I Google this, there's no pictures of the bones or any of the excavated remains. It's literally just accounts of people who were there. And that's great. I like it. I stan people wanting to talk about giants, sure. But there needs to be proof. You can't just expect me to just blindly believe that you somehow found proof of giants and then you don't provide me said proof of giants. Just seems a little fishy if you ask me. But so that's the second one. The third one, this one's actually, I don't know, this one's fucking wild, because when I was reading through these, I was like, yeah, okay, ancient cemeteries and so on and so forth. So the remains of Siteka or Sai. So this was supposedly a legendary tribe of redhead cannibal giants. Alright, this one was a little buck wild if you ask me. So I've never heard of redhead cannibal giants before, and so there's not a whole lot about these, but these were allegedly found in 1911 by guano miners in Nevada. So the size, nature, and the existence of these bones they remain disputed, because supposedly these, I don't want to blame the miners, but I'm gonna blame the miners. Apparently they just tossed shit around. They crushed the bones on accident. They didn't take care of it. They found it in 1911, but it wasn't reported until 1912. So there was a whole year of time where they found them, and then they're maybe we should tell somebody about these bones that we found in this fucking guano mine. I don't fucking know, dude. But legitimately though, everything about this is disputed. A lot of people think this is just some miner's wives' tale type thing where they're talking about the red-headed giant cannibals, to scare each other around campfires or some shit. But yeah, so there's literally no proof of this, but it's a great story, right? I mean, I would play a video game where I'm being chased by giant redhead cannibals. That'd be cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Lots of lore and mythos, but not a whole lot else. Physical evidence, if any have been provided or given to us, it's all been disputed to some respect. There's no there's lots of stuff in literature that points to giants, but it's very suspicious that we haven't found any remains of giants, when a lot of our literature and a lot of our supposed historical accounts date relatively recent in like the grand scheme of things. Like we found dinosaur bones that are fully intact from thousands of years ago, but we can't find a giant's bones intact except for like a handful of like potential bone artifacts. It's a whole thing. Now there's all kinds of stuff that goes into this. Like there's people who think that like the government's hiding giants for some reason. There are people who think that giants exist still today and that they just collect their bones. I don't know. There's also theories that giants live in Middle or in Hollow Earth, that they can't live on our Earth because we're scared of them, so they live on Hollow Earth. Okay. Final thoughts. All right. Final thoughts. Sorry. I almost choked on my coffee. Jesus Christ. You're welcome for that ASMR, by the way. Next time it'll cost you $5. I'm starting an OnlyFans soon. Don't worry. So that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, these two theories were recommended to us by this person here. Again, thank you so much for recommending this. I want to go ahead and extend my offer to everybody else. Again, I probably should have said this in the beginning because not a lot of people watch to the end, but if you want to recommend theories, if there's anything that you want to see covered, whether it's on the iceberg or not, I've been considering going off iceberg here soon-ish, just because maybe there's some people who don't want to see theories on the iceberg, or maybe there's stuff that people want to hear about otherwise. I've thought about talking about I've been watching a lot of Supernatural, so I kind of want to talk about cryptids soon, so I may try and do something like that. I don't know. But if there's any theories that you want to see, whether it's on the iceberg or even if there's a theory or two that you don't see on the iceberg but you've heard about that you want to hear me talk about, let me know. I will be more than happy to try and do some research and make a video about it. Today's episode, of course, was done in that same fashion. Actually, the last few episodes have been recommended to me, so I really appreciate the interaction. So if there's anything you want to see covered, let me know. If there's anything you want to see me go back and cover again, maybe I only covered certain aspects of it, or maybe you want to see if I have any new information, let me know as well. I'm welcome to revisit theories if possible. Don't mind the dinging in the background. That's none of your business. And so, yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see and all that good stuff. We did have another episode of Control RC this week. I think Salsa, he's been really busy. Actually, he's been trying to, he's going to college at the moment, or he's trying to get enrolled in college, I should say. So that's obviously a huge process that is very time consuming, especially when you have to work out like financial aid and all that shit. So, good luck to him. He'll be back on the show very soon. Probably next week. We're going to try and iron out either an episode for next week or the week after. But, yeah. So, with all of that being said, follow us on social media, give us a like and subscribe, all of that good jazz. Let us know, of course, if other theories or anything else you want to hear us talk about. Like I said, I'm juggling with a couple of different things that I may want to try and do in the future, so we'll see. But until then, I want you guys to stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay awesome. We will see you in the next one. See ya.